Hello knitters, this is Tamara and the Knitting Lab. I'm here today to show you how to begin working the neck of your perfect summer tee. And what I have here are all of my neck stitches that were on waste yarn are now safely put onto my needle. And I used one needle, if you watched before, I used one needle to pick them up. And now I've slipped half of them onto the other side of the needle so that I can start in the center. So I'm going to move this so you could see my cable. So here's the cable, and you got it. Half the stitches are on the right, half are on the left. And this is all because, this is all because I want to start the I-cord bind off in the center, because this is going to be the least visible place, so that when you Kitchener it together, if it's not absolutely perfect, it's not a big deal because it's going to be behind you at the base of your neck. So now I'm going to grab the yarn and attach it. So here's the yarn. Let's see if I can situate this better. I have I like to anchor it around my finger. You do not need to do that. And I'm going to the first stitch, and I'm going to make sure that when I wrap the yarn, my left hand, or if you're carrying it with your right hand, I'll do it that way, that the working yarn is what you're using. Don't accidentally use the tail when you wrap your yarn. So now that little loose stitch is going to be my first stitch. One's cast on. I'm knitting into this last stitch. Two's cast on, and one more. Three is cast on. So in the video now, I'm going to do a couple of rows of the I-cord, and then I'm going to stop the recording, and I'm going to pick up when I'm done with all of this side of the I-cord, because it doesn't make sense to have the video record this, because you have the technique done in the same technique done for the sleeve. Okay, so I have done knit 2 stitches, and now knit 2 through the back loop. I'm going to slide them all back. Don't get freaked out. Whoops. Don't forget, the needle also has live stitches, so I'm going to move those here. So I move these 3. I also need to mention that the reason I'm using the reason these are all on this needle is I've decided I'm using the same needle I knit the work in. This is a US 3. If I was going to use a larger needle, now would be the time. I would use the larger needle in my right hand. I would leave these alone, and I would just start working with the new needle in my right hand. Okay, so here I go again. You do your I-cord bind off by knitting the first 2. Mine's a little splitty, so I'm being careful. Knitting 1, knitting 2, and knitting 2 together. Every time I knit the last 2 together through the back loop, I'm joining the cord to the body of the fabric, and I'm casting off at the same time, binding off. All right, I'm going to do it one more time right now. Knit 1, knit 2, and then I knit 2 together through the back loop. Okay, at this point, I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to work through every stitch I have, and then I'm going to start again when I'm at this edge and it's time to pick up stitches. See you soon. Hey guys, okay, here I am, and I'm going to turn this off and see if the light's better. Nope. Okay. So here I have done the I-cord from the center back of the shirt. Here's from the center. I've bound off all of the stitches on the left hand side, and I've gone all the way up to the shoulder to the end. All right, so now I have to pick up stitches to keep doing the bind off. Guess what I did? I wanted you to see that you'll be picking up stitches at the edge, and the ratio of how many stitches you pick up along the edge is 1 to 1. In the pattern, there's a 1, a colon, and a 1. That means for every stitch, I'm going to pick up 1. So remember that when you were knitting this, you were going from the top, and that means that the direction of the knitting is this way. So see the V's? Good. Each along the edge, 1 stitch is going to be picked up all the way along the edge for each of these. So I am rolling this forward because look what I did. I stuck markers in so that you could see where I'm going in. So look at the yellow. The yellow marker is under a pair, a pair of strands. It's the last stitch and it's stockinette, so it's curling to the back. I want you to see where my needle's going. So next to that V is a whole row of stitches right here. So I guess I just want you to see that for each of these, you're picking up 1 along the edge. All right, so here we go. I'm going to start. I have done every stitch that was already live, and now I need to pick up 1 stitch. 1, that's what I meant to do. Okay, I have my working yarn. My working yarn is completely caught in these markers, and half the markers flipped out. All right, that's all right. So I want to get it up close for you. I am going to go in, and I'm going to go in here, right there. It's a little pair. See, it's a little V on my hook, not on my needle, not 1 strand, but 2, because that will give it stability. My needle went in. Okay, my computer, everybody's rebelling right now. Okay, my needle is in, my right needle's in. I'm wrapping the yarn, bringing that strand through there. Okay, it's on the needle now. I have to take the left needle. So the right needle has the 3 stitches from the Icord and the one I just picked up. I'm going to slip that back to my left needle, and I'm slipping the 3 to my left needle because that's what we do with the Icord. Okay, so same pattern, knit 2, 1, 2, knit 2 together through the back loop. Whoops, I missed one of them. Hold on. Knit 2 together through the back loop. Okay, so I'm working along the edge. Don't freak out about that hole. I know you see it. That's because that's where the purl column, see that? That open work there? That's where that is. So I'm not going to try to close that up right there. It's continuing right in the design. You'll have that too. Now I have to go down the edge to my next space. And I'm going in here. I'm picking up the stitch. And now I'm passing all 4 of them back to my left hand needle. Okay. Knit 1, 2. Knit 2 together through the back loop. And now it's time to pick up another stitch. I'm going to go, so my last one was here. So I'm going into the one I put the pink marker in to hold its place. So I like to use my right hand needle. I'm going to get that marker out of the way. There's my pair. I just picked it up. Everybody, now that I have 4, everybody goes back to the left needle. And what do? That's right, I knit 2. Knit 2 together. Okie dokie. I'm going to do it again. I like to use this right needle because I'm not comfortable using the left needle to pick up the stitch. So I'm going to put my right needle in. Right needle in the V. I wrap my yarn, bring the strand through. I have 4. So I'm going to pause again and I'm going to work down the V of this, and I will meet you when I'm further down so I could show you this. Alrighty? Okay. Okay, I am now at the point where I have picked up a stitch to continue my I-cord bind off. Here's the shoulder. Here's where I started picking up stitches, picking up binding off. I'm going to hold it here, and if I rotate it around, you're going to see how beautifully the cord winds right into the inside. Okay, so my I-cord is all the way almost at the center front. Here's the center front. And you'll notice this is where I have a little bit of looseness, and I also have space because this is where we did the cable cast on to join, and there's some gap. So when I go to pick up my stitch here, I wanted you to see this. If I go and pick up right in this space, it's easy to go in and get the stitch on the needle. But I am going to have this open area, and when the I-cord goes over, it's not going to close up or cover it. So I'm going to go 1 stitch below over here. So let's see. I'm going to go into the front, scooch both of them up. By the way, if you have trouble bringing it through, I'm going to do that again. I'm going in. I'm wrapping the yarn. Some of you are having trouble bringing it through. I firm the tension. I pull my yarn on my needle, and then I bring it through, and it holds on and doesn't slip off. So there I have gone 1 strand below the other area. Okay, I have it now. I'm going to pick up the needle. I actually switched to a spare needle so that I could be working on a needle not connected. So I have my needle here, it's on an extra cord with a stopper on it, okay? Here we go. I'm going to pass those stitches back onto the left needle. Okay. I really just want to do the next couple of these on screen so that you could see how I handle that front area where we have cast on stitches. All right, here we are. I'm talking about that. I'm going to go into the next one. Going into my space because that's a little stitch, but that's one of my stitches. The goal is to pick up for every row of stitches. Pick up 1 stitch for every row. Here's another space that's going to be open. I'm going to go in here. Some of you are going to feel like that's too big of a space. I'm going to see about closing that. There. I'm fudging with it. Oops. Let's see. I'm going to go in here and bring that through there. And now I'm going to pass it to the left needle. Let's take a look. Okay, that works for me. It snugs it up. So listen, I know it's nerve-wracking when you're doing this for the first time. Just remember, you can always drop the stitch. If you picked it up and you don't like the way it looks, you can drop it. When you're doing this whole process, it's going to take longer than you think. Go slow, take your time. And again, I'm going to go in. And if I don't like, when I pull this through, if I feel like I don't like the way that looks, I can drop that, okay? So you have the power to pick up the stitches so that you like the way they look, and just take your time. I think that's going to be it for now. I'm going to sign off this long video. There. All right. I'm pretty much past that. No, you know what? I'm not. I see I have a couple more finicky areas to go. So I will just do a few more to get past that center. And you know what? If this looks too bulky for me, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to drop the stitches on the left-hand side. So here's a big space. I'm not going in here. Yes, I am. Haha, just kidding. Okay, this is another thing I wanted to see. So this is my loosest column. This is how I'm gonna handle picking up the stitches of this one area that many of you have with the gap from where we increased. I'm putting this with my left needle from front to back, and now I'm going to go through the back loop of that. Okay, look what I did. Okay, no, so it's snugged up, and now I'm passing it back to the left needle, and I'm going to knit it. Whoops. And now I'm back to the side stitches, and I'm going to leave you there, but let's take a look. I'm going to push my needle way down. Let's take a look at the front of that. Okay, so this is how I resolved that loose center front. Yes, I see it's a little loose there. It's fine for me. I think it's going to be fine when I block it. The other thing is I don't like the way that this is bending right here. So I will go back and fix that by undoing a couple of these to make it not bend like this. But I just want you to see, if you're looking at this when it's all completed, it's going to look pretty seamless. And then I'll continue and pick up one for each stitch, going in the two on the edge all the way till I get up here, and then I have my live stitches again. I'll finish at the center, and I will Kitchener the first three with the last three. I hope that was helpful, and I'm really proud of you all. If you got this far, that means you are on your way to finishing a garment, okay? Take care. Happy knitting. Bye.